Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Just Another Pure Killer by Chefofdeath. If you would like to try this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. Let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. We are going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Killer. Digits in a cage sum to the given total. Digits do not repeat within a cage. So those 3 digits will sum to 12, but we couldn't do no, that's probably a bad idea, 3, 3, 6, because although that meets Sudoku requirements, it does not meet the digits cannot repeat within a cage rule. Okay, I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay, 6 can only be done in one way for 3 cells. That's 1, 2, and 3. 7 can only be 1, 2, and 4. Now, we can tidy this up a little because we now have a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. The 4 is definitely in one of those two, so it's not there. And the 3 is definitely in one of those two, so it's not there. And that also gives us now a 1, 2 pair in that row. We have another 1, 2, 3 here. And again, likewise, we get the 3 must be in one of those, so that's not a 3. The 4 must be in one of those, so that's not a 4, and in fact, that is. Over here, we get a 1, 2, 4 for the 7 cage. Okay, these 7s are looking at all of those cells, so that is 7. Okay, these 7s are also looking at all of these cells. So, can I have a 7 in a 22 cage? So, let's think. 24 would be 7, 8, 9. So 23 can only be done one way, which is 6, 8, 9. 22 is either 5, 7, sorry, is either 5, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 9. So if this is 5, 8, 9, then that's a 7, or it's 6, 7, 9. Not sure about that. Okay. 7 can't go here or here. It can go in any of those. But if that's a 7, then in order to complete the 10 cage, I need a 1, 2 pair, but I've got a 1 and 2 looking at that cell. So 7 is not in one of those, and it is in one of those. Likewise, 7 is in one of those 3. If that were a 7, this would be a 1, 2 pair, but I can't put a 1 or 2 there. So this can't be a 7, and 7 is in one of those. Okay, 7 can't go there. It can't go in a 9 cage with 3 cells. Not helpful, I don't think. Okay, this 10 cage. How can I make 10 in 3 digits? I have 1, 2, 7, which we have already ruled out. 1, 3, 6. 1, 4, 5. Or 2, 3, 5. So it definitely has a 1 or a 2 in it. Which can't go there and can't go there. So that's a 1 or a 2. Yes, the way to think about it is if I didn't have a 1 or a 2 in the 10 cage, then the minimum would be 3, 4, 5, which adds to 12. But I can't put 1 or 2 there because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 quad, and I can't put a 1 or 2 there, so that's a 1 or a 2. That makes this a 1, 2, 4 triple, and 4 is not in that cell. So 4 is in here, so I can't place a 4 in this 10 cage. Okay. So I've not got 1, 2, 7, 1, 3, 6. So it could be 1, 3, 6. If that were the case, the 6 would be there, the 3 would be there. Oh, wait. Right, I have to have 2 digits from 1, 2, and 3 in a 10 cage. Because if I don't have 2 digits from 1, 2, and 3, so I only have 1 digit, then I could have, no, 1, 4, 5 would work, but I can't do 1, 4, 5. Right, 4 has been eliminated. So if I can't do 1, 4, 5, then, and I only have 1 digit from 1, 2, and 3, then 1, 5, and 6 would be the minimum, or 2, 5, and 6, which is too much. So I must have another digit that's from 1, 2, and 3. And the only place that can go is here because of the 1, 2 pair. So that's a 3. So I now either have 3, 6, 1 or 3, 5, 2. So this 13 cage does not have a 3 or a 4 in it, in these two cells. And it can only have a maximum of 1 from 1 or 2. If it had neither from 1 or 2, then that could be 5, 7 with a 1 there. Couldn't be 5, 6 because of that. Okay, I was hoping it would force a 1 or a 2 in there, but apparently not. Okay, can I do something similar? Right. So, I can't do 1, 2, 7 because I can't get 7 in there. If I don't have a 1 or a 2, then 3, 4, 5 is the minimum. But that is too many. So I need a 1 or a 2 there, and that's the only place, because that's the only place it can go within the box, within the cage, sorry, because of the 1, 2 pair there and the 1, 2, 3, 4 quad there. That gives me a 1, 2 pair there. That makes that a 4. Okay. So, likewise, I cannot put 1, 4, 5 in here. And without 1, 4, 5, I need to have a 3. And so the 3 has to go there, and then this has to be a 5 or a 6. I now have a 1, 2, 3, 4 looking in there. That's at least 5, 6, except it can't be 5, 6 because of that. So that is now at least 5, 7. It must be exactly 5, 7 because that's 12, because I need to leave room for 1 digit there. That removes a 1 from there and makes one of those a 1. Which puts a 1 into one of those 3. That is an no. That 5, 7, it looks across, makes that 6. That makes that 1. That's 2. That's 1. That's 2. That's 5. That is an 8, 9 pair. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 there. This is now a minimum of 6, 7, which is 13. So it must be 6, 7, and that is a 1. And we get an 8, 9 pair here. That is not a 1. 1 is in one of those two, so that's not a 1, that's not a 1, and that one is. Cannot repeat digits in the 9 cage, and there's no place for a 1 in the 9 cage. That is a 2, 3, 4 cage. That 2 is looking down there, so that is 2. That becomes a 3, 4 pair. That 2 looks across here. That makes that 1, that 3, and that 2. This 1 looks up, giving me a 2 there and a 1 there, which gives me a 2 there, a 3 there, and a 1 there. Okay, very nice. The only place left for 2 in this box is here. That 3 is looking at the 4 and the 3 there. I need a 5, 8, and 9 to complete the box. Okay. By Sudoku, this is a 2. And so is that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all the 2s. Do I have all the 1s? Not quite. That's a 1. I think that's the last one. Yes. So these two digits sum to 9. They can't be 1, 8 or 2, 7, so they are 3, 6 or 4, 5. If they are 3, 6, it is in that order. If they are 4, 5, it is in that order. In fact, where does 3 go in this box? By Sudoku, it is there. That's a 3. That's a 6. Okay. Let me think. Let's have a look at 4s. Okay, we have a 4 in one of those two, which means we have a 4 in one of those two. That's 4 is looking up there. That's not a 4. So that is. So we have 7, 8, 9 as our remaining digits in the box, and that is not a 7. Okay. Three is in one of those two. If that were a 3, then that would leave 19 to fulfill the 22 cage. But a 22 cage, 3 plus 8 and 9, which is the largest I can have, is 20. So that is not a 3. This is a 3. That means I get a 3 in one of those two. So 5, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 9. So that means we know that 4 is not in this. But in any case, 4 is in one of those. Yeah, it's in one of those 3. But the 4 there plus the 4 there is all the 4s I expect in columns 1 and 2. So one of those two is a 4. That could be 4, 3, 5 for the 12 cage. What are my 2s? Let's have another look at 4s. Don't think that's super helpful. Right, that's 6, means there's a 6 in one of those two. So that places a 6 in one of those two. Wish I knew if that contained the 7 or not. 679 or 589. Okay, if it's 589, then that's 7. That's 6, that's 7, that's 6. That would be 7. That would be 5. That would be 6. That would be 5. That would be 7. That all looks plausible. Um, so 589 or 679. Wait. Right, if this is 589, then that gives me a 579 treble. But that could not be, yeah, that would leave a 6-7 pair for the row, but that can't be 7 and it can't be 6 because of that 6 pointing, looking down. So it is not 589, that is a 679. 22 cage. All right, so we get 5, 4, and 8 as the remaining cells. Okay, that can't be 8 because I need 4 more to make 12, and I can't put 1, 3 in there. So that is not 8. If that's 5, then I need 3 and 4 in there because that's the smallest I can get. And that would make 12. If that were 5 in there, I would need 3 and... Sorry, if that were 5 in there, I'd need 3 and 4. If that were 4 in there, I'd need 3 and 5. So that is a 3. That is... I'll keep that corner mark. That's 4 or 5. Oh, it can't be a 5 because of this 5, 7 pair. So that is a 4. That is a 5. That gives me a 4, 8 pair. That 5 looks up, making that 7. And that 5, that looks down, making that a 6, 9 pair. That is now 7. That is 6 and 7. That 6 looks back and gives me 9 and 6. That 9 looks back over here. And that's a 5, 8. And that's a 5 or 8. That 4, 8 is looking up. That's not a 4. That is... I can remove those corner marks. I need a 6 in this box, which has to go there. That makes that an 8. That's 9. That's 8. That's 9. 8. 5. 5 and 8. And a 9 in there. That 8 looks across. Gives me a 4 and an 8. Up here, I need 6 and 9, which I can place. And then I need a 5 and an 8, which I don't think I can place just yet. Oh, yes, I can. The 5 here shows me. So that's 8. That is 5. That means that that's the only place for 8 left in the box. That 7, 9 pair means that that is a 6. This single digit is a 9. Then we get 5 and 8 over here. Okay, we have a 9 looking up at the 7-9 pair. So 3 must go here. 5 is in one of those two. 6 is in one of those two, so that's a 5-6 pair. That makes that 7, which makes that 7. This is 5 or 6, and it's not 6 by the box. So that's 5, 6, 5. That makes the 8 and 5 resolved. We need a 4, 8, and 9. That's the 8, that's the 4, that's the 9. This last digit here is 5, making this 4. This is 6, and this is a 9. And I have done something wrong. What have I done wrong? That's correct. That box is plausibly correct. That sums correctly. 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 So I've got some Sudoku that's wrong. I've got 2 6s in this row. That's interesting. What did I do wrong there? Let's rewind. Okay. That's a 5. That's a 6. Let's see if that fixes some things. This digit is a 4. This 6 is looking down. That's a 6. That's a 9. The last 2 digits here are 5 and 8. Nope. 5 and 4, which I can place 5 and 4. That makes that 8. That 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5 there, 8 there, and 9 there. And I have, in fact, done it correctly this time. Yep, I must have mistyped something. I did. I resolved that 5, 6 the wrong way round and didn't spot it. But I figured it out. And yeah, that happens sometimes, but I enjoyed that puzzle. It's got some tricky steps in, and I think the one I enjoyed the most was figuring out that this couldn't be the 5, 8, 9 triple because of the that would cause this to be a 6 or a 7, which it could be neither of. That 6, because it was still pointing candidates, was a little hard to spot. All right, well, as I said, I enjoyed this puzzle. If you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.